Do you often visit your friends or relatives?
Yes, I make an effort to visit my friends and relatives quite regularly. It's important to me to stay connected with them, and seeing them in person is a much more meaningful way to do that than just through phone calls or messages.
When was the last time you visited someone?
The last time I visited someone was just last weekend. I went to my cousin's house to help her move some furniture. We had a nice lunch afterwards and spent the afternoon catching up, which was really lovely.
Do you prefer visiting people or having them visit you?
I enjoy both, but I think I prefer having people visit me. It's nice to host and create a comfortable environment for my guests. I can cook for them and show them around my home without having to worry about traveling.
What do you like to do when you visit someone's house?
When I visit someone, I like to simply relax and have a good conversation. I enjoy catching up on their lives, sharing stories, and sometimes playing a board game. I find that these simple activities are the best way to spend quality time together.
Is it important to bring a gift when you visit someone?
I think it's a thoughtful gesture, but not always necessary. A small gift like a bottle of wine, some chocolates, or a snack is a nice way to show appreciation for their hospitality, but it's the company that truly matters. One of the most impressive museums I've ever had the pleasure of visiting is the Mercedes-Benz Museum, located in Stuttgart, Germany. It's not just a place for car enthusiasts. It's a journey through innovation and history, housed in an architecturally stunning building. When I visited, I was completely captivated by the way the museum is structured. It takes you on a chronological path through the history of the automobile, starting from the very first patent motor car in the late 19th century right up to modern-day concept vehicles. What I found particularly fascinating was seeing the evolution of not just the cars themselves, but also how they reflected societal changes. There were dedicated sections showcasing different eras, from grand pre-war luxury vehicles to post-war utility cars, and even the iconic racing models that dominated the tracks. Each floor seamlessly transitioned into the next, displaying hundreds of vehicles, engines, and related artifacts. I also appreciated the attention to detail in displaying how Mercedes-Benz contributed to other areas, such as buses, trucks, and even aircraft engines. My feelings about the visit were overwhelmingly positive, bordering on awe. It wasn't just a collection of old cars. It felt like a narrative unfolding before my eyes. I felt a deep sense of appreciation for the engineering marvels and the foresight of the pioneers who shaped the automotive industry. The sheer scale of the collection, combined with the detailed historical context provided for each exhibit, made the experience incredibly immersive and educational. I felt inspired by the relentless pursuit of innovation showcased throughout the museum. I genuinely like this museum for several reasons. Firstly, its architectural design is phenomenal. The double helix structure meant that the flow of visitors was natural and engaging, preventing any sense of being overwhelmed despite the vast number of exhibits. Secondly, the storytelling aspect was exceptional. It wasn't just about displaying vehicles, but about placing them within their historical and social context, explaining their impact on transportation and daily life. Lastly, the museum managed to be highly informative without being dry. The interactive displays, the clear signage, and the sheer visual impact of seeing so many beautifully preserved and restored vehicles made it an unforgettable experience that appealed to more than just automotive fanatics. It truly celebrated human ingenuity and progress.
In what ways has technology changed how people visit each other?
Technology has fundamentally transformed the way people visit, making communication and connection much easier even across vast distances. Video calls and social media allow for a virtual visit that was impossible in the past, enabling people to see and speak to loved ones living in different countries without the cost or time commitment of travel. While this is convenient, it can also lead to a decrease in the frequency of physical visits, as the virtual alternative often serves as a substitute. The spontaneity of dropping by has been replaced by scheduled digital interactions, which, while valuable, lack the intimacy and richness of face-to-face contact. Ultimately, technology has broadened our ability to connect, but has also created a new dynamic where virtual presence can sometimes take the place of genuine physical presence.
Do you think that the purpose of visiting has changed over time?
Yes, I believe the purpose of visiting has definitely evolved. Historically, visiting was a primary form of communication and social interaction, often necessary for exchanging news and maintaining community bonds due to the lack of other options. It was a more formal and structured activity, especially in social circles. Today, with instant communication technologies, the purpose of visiting has shifted from being a necessity to a more deliberate choice. People now visit for special occasions, share experiences, or to deepen personal connections, rather than just to convey information. The purpose has become more about quality time and shared experiences, such as going out for a meal or attending an event, rather than a simple exchange of words.
What are the cultural differences in how people visit one another in different countries?
There are significant cultural differences in visiting etiquette around the world. In many Western countries, a visit is often arranged in advance with a specific time and purpose, and dropping by unannounced can be considered impolite. The hosts might offer a drink or a snack, and the visit is usually a relatively casual affair. Conversely, in many cultures in the Middle East or Asia, impromptu visits from friends or neighbors are more common and warmly welcomed, reflecting a strong sense of community and hospitality. In these cultures, visitors are often treated to a full meal, and it can be considered rude for them to leave quickly. These differences highlight how cultural values around community, privacy, and hospitality shape social norms.
How important is it to be a good host when people visit you?
Being a good host is incredibly important, as it directly impacts the visitor's experience and strengthens social bonds. A good host makes guests feel comfortable, welcomed, and valued. This involves not only offering food and drinks, but also paying attention to their needs, engaging them in conversation, and ensuring they are at ease. The role of a host is to create a positive and memorable environment that reflects respect and care for the guest. It's a chance to demonstrate hospitality and generosity, which in turn fosters stronger relationships and encourages future visits. A poor hosting experience, on the other hand, can make a guest feel awkward and unwelcome, potentially damaging the relationship.
What role do public places like parks and cafes play in modern social visits?
Public places like parks and cafes have become central to modern social visits, offering a neutral and convenient space for people to meet and connect. These venues provide a relaxed setting that requires less planning than a visit to someone's home. Cafes, for example, facilitate a casual get-together for a quick chat over coffee, while parks offer an ideal environment for families and friends to spend time together outdoors, especially for activities with children. The use of these public spaces reflects a shift towards more flexible and informal social interactions. They serve as essential third places, providing a much-needed venue for people to visit and maintain their social networks without the formality and preparation required for a visit to a private residence.